This is a quick performance installation video for an R4 to Sanden Conversion Package. This is everything that's going to come in a kit. So you'll have a bracket here that's going to go in your 88 to 95 aluminum bracket that allows you to replace your R4 and put a Sanden Mini Compressor in its place. So the kit comes with the bracket, the compressor, the straight fitting that will go on the manifold here, the AC lines to hook up to the accumulator, which is included in the kit, and to your stock condenser, so that you're going to keep all those stock parts. We have rings and pag oil. We have a trinary switch, so you can have high and low pressure kickoffs with the option of having electric fans, not required, of course. And so everything you need here, including an orifice tube. In order to do this, all you need to do is vacuum the system and charge it up. It's going to be a great solution for you guys. So there's a you see here, there's a couple here, and then a couple more on this side as well. He has the optional idler down here going on. Now, did they attach these in different ways in different years? As far as right here, are they all attached from the front?
They are.
Because
on the R4s,
and sometimes they've gone from the back. Have you ever seen that before?
I haven't. Okay. So,
but there is a nut on the back.
This particular one has a nut.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there is a nut on the back of all three of them.
Okay.
To include an extra one for the brace that goes down to the intake.
Yeah. Now, on this example here, we have a pressure switch here on the manifold.
High pressure switch.
High pressure switch, and then this one over here is a low pressure switch.
And it's also being called a cycling switch, is the way I understand it.
Yeah. On the new kit that we're going to install, it comes with a trinary switch, and so we'll wire that up. So it'll be a little bit different, but you will still have high and low pressure protection for the compressor. And also the option to add electric fans if you want, or simply run the mechanical fan that's already installed.
The thing we need to do is pull that compressor off of there. I've already loosened the bolts. If you would, though, grab a 14 millimeter wrench.
Now, you have already discharged this system in a very legal and safe manner.
Correct. One thing you'll find with a lot of the failures in the R4s is that they're already empty.
Yeah. There's a flat spot on these, isn't there? Yeah.
A flat spot right there on the side of that bolt so that you can slide those out.
Yeah, you can see that right there. You can't get them out without that.
Believe it or not, we're going to save all this stuff, all these bolts, because there's people that are actually still using R4s.
Market for them?
And I'll tell you, by me already having this compressor loose and out of here once for a test fit, that they don't come out this easy.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What's next from here?
Pull lines loose.
Okay. Now, one of the things that we have seen and also can report back that typically these lines here and also the ones on the condenser, they can be pretty doggone stuck. And if you put the torque to it, you'll shred all of this. And so it's going to be really important, especially when you're taking it off here to where it connects to the evaporator, that unless you want to buy a new evaporator, that you follow some tips and tricks on how to get that loose without shearing it off.
That's a good point. I soaked it down with PB Blaster the day before.
Right. Yeah, just prepare the day before, let it soak for a little while.
Let it soak just a little bit. That liquid line right here If you've got the earlier version, say around the 88 model,
yeah,
you can't even get that line.
that's right.
It's not an option.
Yeah.
So you don't want to strip it. Oh, I've already loosened these.
So this manifold block is holding both the high side and the low side. You got a little bit of oil in it. Nothing that the EPA can tie back to us.
Hold on, Robert.
I got a pink towel.
I got
a pink one.
No,
over
you're
here
not using my pink towels.
I just want to use one of the pink ones.
No. We've talked
What's
about
the point of having them if you can't use them?
At this point, we're looking at reassembly.
All right, so we're going to take our compressor. We're ready to do the bracket side of this installation. We're going to take the bracket that has these tubes as well. This tube will go here, and it's going to, these two holes here will go onto the compressor with the 8mm by 25s. Get that tightened down there, and then over here on this side, 8 by 25 again. We're going to go ahead and take these down and torque them to 15 foot-pounds. Now for this step, we want to make sure that our sleeves here, they are sliders, but they are friction fit. Just want to make sure that those are flush there. We're going to take this, and you can see that there's a bump out here and a bump out here, and a smooth piece here, smooth piece here. So we're just going to line that up just like that again. We're going to take our longer 8mm bolts, get those started in there, and then capture it with a nut down below. Then we'll get out our wrench and tighten these down also to 15 foot-pounds. The next step here is we're actually going to come over to the bracket on the truck, and these sleeves here, we're going to go ahead and drive them all the way back so that we have a clean installation, can mount it flush to the front, and then mate them up. So let's demonstrate with a chisel and a hammer what you guys are looking for here. All right, now we're ready for the assembly to go into the bracket. All right, let's do this thing. So we're going to take this assembly here, and it just slides down into the hole, and we attach it with 3 socket head bolts, 10mm. Fitting helps.
Probably just want to start them loose, don't we?
Yeah, until we get all 3 lined up. That would be good. You want to hit that bottom one off?
Gonna help me.
I can get it started for you anyway. What we're wanting to do here is get the very front of it all squared up the best we can. We're going to go ahead now and drive the back. Just tap it till it mates up there. And then we will actually go ahead and install loosely the 10mm bolts that go in the rear, and then we will torque the front. So let's come in here with the the hammer, and you can see here he's driving that there, just trying to kiss it. Now we're only attaching in two places in the rear here, on the side here and the side there. We'll leave it up to your discretion whether or not you want to go ahead and push the third sleeve in there to mate up with it. It's a little bit difficult to get to. Install the bolts from behind. We're going to start off by torquing the first three here on the front, square the bracket to the bracket, and then come in and get the two on the back side. All 5 of these will be torqued to 37 foot-pounds. This is the part that I can't remember. All of my vehicles have this doggone fan on it.
I'm going to go ahead and put a new orifice tube in while we're here. I went ahead and put a little bit of oil on it before inserting it. Slide that down in there. And in our kit, you'll find that we have a whole bunch of O-rings. So why not put a new one on there? You want to make sure you get it lined up and make sure that O-ring, everything is flush before you start running that nut down, or you will cross thread it. You know, one of the things that would have been smart here that I did not do was put a little bit of that PAG oil on them threads. That would have been smart. We've already removed the 2 bolts that hold this cap on. One of the things, when you pull that cap off, of course you can see there's oil in this compressor already. Now that's a good point right there. But one thing that's very important is to make sure that those O-rings are in there. And there is plenty of oil in there already on those O-rings. We're going to torque these bolts to 15 foot-pounds. It says here we're going to install the number 10 suction hose to the larger of the 2 manifold fittings on the compressor. the blue cap. You'll find that these come with O-rings on them already installed. However, recommend you put a little oil on them. If you don't find a O-ring on here, then there are plenty in the packet that we send out. Go to install this, as we talked about earlier, making sure that you've got it lined up properly. A little bit of oil on the threads. So where we're at this point, this is a time where we can actually go ahead and hook it to the dryer. My thought is that I'm not going to put a new dryer on here yet. What I like to do is go ahead and break loose the dryer and make sure it's loose and ready for whoever I have to do the fill on this. That way they can change the dryer. Don't take a chance of it drawing any moisture between the time that we get our install done and they go ahead and fill the system. So we'll move on to the number 8 hose. The reason that we implemented the Schrader valve in the system is so that in the future, if you ever have a problem with this trinary switch, you can remove it without having to evac your system.
All right, so what's first? We're going to attach these two items together?
Yeah, really the advantage to doing this right here, putting these items here together, is the fact that it keeps you from having to lean over in the engine bay trying to put everything together.
Yeah,
Lubricate your O-rings. Now I recommend just finger tightening these. Get them seated. Get them seated to where it is you can still twist them.
So that when you get it installed, you can clock it to your liking?
You can clock it exactly to the way you want that trinary switch laying down in there. Next, we're going to assemble the Schrader valve itself. Now this, you'll want to go ahead and just tighten it down. And one of the things that you may run into whenever you get ready to install your trinary switch is that you're going to see this green O-ring right here. It's not needed. You can take it off, save it for a future project, throw it away. You'll find in the trinary switch itself, it's got a seal in it. And of course, once again, put a little bit of lubricant on there. Pag oil.
Now, would you say don't put a wrench on here and tighten it up? Just do it hand tight, or?
No, you want to snug it down with a wrench.
Okay.
You definitely want to do that. I'll probably wait till I get it in the system to actually tighten it at that point.
Okay. So here, lastly, we're going to go ahead and connect this adapter that actually plugs into the condenser, and we're actually going from a metric to an SAE in order to achieve this. But we're going to go ahead and attach that now, and then we'll be able to manipulate it through the core support. A lot easier than trying to do it when it's in the vehicle.
Hard enough to do it up here on the bench.
Easy peasy. You'll notice in the installation that we have this piece here that requires some pre-assembly and everything like that. We've actually done an improvement to where this is now all an integrated single piece, much closer to OEM, a lot better, less likely to leak and everything like that. Installation will be the exact same, but if you notice in the video it's a little bit different, no big deal. You've gotten the better stuff in your hands. So now we're just going to drop it down straight through the floor support here. Up. Thank you. There you go.
And we'll go ahead and attach the top first.
Okay. You got plenty of slack here. I'm just going to let her run loose.
Okay. It's amazing, just that little bit of being off, how easy it is to start cross-threading one.
You got to be careful. Take your time. Now, what are you feeling for there? I know you're a highly calibrated man there and you're going to a torque spec, but...
Well, actually, there is a torque spec for all of these. All I'm trying to do is snug it down. So here we are back from lunch. Before we took off, we were connecting our lines at that time. And so we had finished up our condenser. But if you remember, we left all of our lines here loose. And the reason that we left them all loose is so that we can position the lines exactly the way that we want them. So now is a good time to go back through and tighten all of your fittings. Torque specs to follow on that. Once you've got that done, it's time to do your wiring. And wiring is a questionable event. And the reason I say that is because this is a 1994. If you look at it, we have two switches coming right off the back of the R4. We have one right up here at the dryer / accumulator. And so how do we tie it all in? And one of the things that we do in our instructions is we explain to take the signal wire, which is the one wire that's coming from the cabin, and you would tie into that and run it down to your trinary. And then just follow the wiring diagram, whether you've got a fan or you don't have a fan. But we strongly recommend you use that trinary switch, whether you use it as a binary or a trinary. Just the safety aspect of it.
Yeah, it's very important that you have a high and a low pressure switch on this compressor, because if it gets too low, it can shell itself and contaminate your entire system. If it gets too high, this is a grenade and you won't have a hood anymore.
In saying that,
high and low switch. I
was going to say high and low switch, but in saying that, I'm already hearing in the field, this is what's taking place. This is a 92 model. And on this 92 model, it only has one switch. And of course, there is your signal wire. And so some of the guys are just plugging it in, leaving it like it is, not worrying about a trinary switch, and going straight to their compressor. And that's where Robert was sharing that it's not a good thing. We don't want to do that. You're taking a chance of grenading the AC system. Goodness.
All right, so in order to run this system, we're obviously going to have to get power to the compressor. And
Right.
what we'd like to do is for you to be able to push the button on the inside and it worked just like the OEMs did, correct?
Absolutely.
So where's the power from the switch coming out to here?
Well, what we find is that typically runs right up to the accumulator. And at the accumulator, you will find the AC signal wire. Now, going out of that switch is the second wire.
Okay.
And that wire right there needs to go to the trinary switch.
Okay.
That is what is going to run into the trinary switch.
Now, we don't want to run directly from there to the compressor because we need to go through the trinary switch so they have high and low pressure protection, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, is there any complications to making that happen, or is it pretty straightforward?
Pretty straightforward because we provide a wiring diagram in our instructions. And like I say, it's straightforward. It says AC signal. It tells you what color the wire is. You tie into that. Then it tells you which wire to tie onto to go to your compressor. One of the things you're going to find on your compressor, you only have one wire now versus what GM did with the R4. They had multiple wires on some of the R4s.
Okay.
You're going to need to ground that system. And so in order to ground it, you're going to have to tie into the trinary switch. And you can either ground it on your frame, your body, but you need a good ground.
Okay. Now, there's going to be an extra wire if a guy wants to run an electrical fan. What's he need to do if he's not running an electrical fan?
So if he's not running an electrical fan, just don't use that wire.
Okay.
Cap it off.
Just cap it off, put some tape on it, whatever.
Save it for the future because as you continue with your vehicle, you may wind up doing an LS swap or something later down the road. You may decide you want electric fans.
Yeah.
So in saying that, cap that off. But if you do have electric fans, on our instructions, you'll find that we actually have a wiring diagram for the electric fans. You'll see that wire goes to a relay. It doesn't go directly to the electric fans. So make sure you use that relay, which that's included in the kit.
Yeah. Outstanding. Is there anything else the people at home need to know about wiring this thing up?
All in all, straightforward, just what we just explained. What you'll find on the 94 Chevy GMC trucks is you can actually pull out of your harness where it goes in the back of the R4 compressor. You got to do a little checking on your wires with the multimeter to find out where your power is coming from because they stuck 3 different switches back there.
Okay.
So it made it nice for this build because we just used the factory harness, tied it all into our trinary switch. It's clean. It looks good.
Outstanding.